a tendency for people is to be in reaction mode, right? Reacting to
Mhm.
life all the time, right? Somebody says
Yeah.
something to you, you have an emotional reaction, and that's your reality. And you go about your day from one reaction to another. Um, and I think when we learn about this stuff and when we learn about the layers of our mind and the way to take a different perspective or to take an observer role in our life, we have more conscious awareness and we have more choice and we have strategies to step out of reaction mode to
Yeah.
to I call them now healing opportunities because it usually just shows you something in you that needs some healing and some love, and
Hmm.
then step into more conscious intention of what you want. Yeah, so it is
Yeah.
so powerful, all this deep learning that we can geek out
Yeah.
on.
What's up, you beautiful beasts? I'm Katie. I'm on a mission to help humans become the best possible versions of themselves and to strive for overall health, mental health, emotional health, physical health, all of the healths, without ever having to step on a scale. I have had the privilege to talk to all kinds of different humans who've been through a plethora of experiences just being a human and existing. I believe that every single time somebody shares their story, at least one person listening will learn from it, be inspired by it, and maybe, just maybe, even change the entire direction of their life. These are the stories of humans unveiling their beautiful beast. Keep listening. This is the Unveiling the Beast podcast. And also, you sitting in your car shows how human you are,
Yeah, oh
right?
yes, I am
Yeah.
very human. I am all about keeping it real. I like to do a lot of posts around that because people look so manicured and so boudoir shots. And then you meet them
Yeah.
on their Zoom and they're like in real life with their bun on their head and no makeup on. I'm like, you totally look different.
This is the same person. Yeah, I post a lot of content in my gym, and
Hmm.
you know, every everyone that follows me knows my eyebrows are fake because they fell out. They fell out when I was 34 and I kind of like having them, so I draw them on every day. But
Yeah.
my
Oh my
my
gosh.
gym videos, I'm browless and eyelashless, and it's like,
Real. Mhm.
yeah, I think it's important for people to see the real us. Not that the polished version isn't real, but like the real, like, hey, I look like you too when I wake up in the morning. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the many sides. Otherwise, we can fall into the trap of not feeling enough because we aren't that, which is so not
Yeah.
true. We are all inherently enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell
So
me a
here we
little
are,
bit.
keeping it
Oh,
real.
sorry.
Nice. So here
Yeah.
we are, keeping it real.
Can you tell the listeners a little bit about who you are and why you think you are who you are?
Who am I? I am a middle-aged woman. Oh, how does that sound? I just turned 49. So I feel like I'm like going into the cusp of a new phase of my life. Hence this coaching business and trying to get myself out in the world. I am, as many of us do, I play many roles and have many hats. Hence, I'm recording in my car. So I have a day job in which I'm a mental health occupational therapist. I run my own business doing that. I help people, adults with mental health injuries, reclaim their life, get back to
Mhm.
work, get back to life, get back to enjoying life. So I help people move through trauma and feel better again in my day job. And I am a mom to a 12-year-old and a girl, and I'm loving that. I always wanted to be a mom, and it was not an easy, actually, she was easy. It was after it wasn't that easy, but I am really enjoying that aspect of life and really trying to be the best mom and break the intergenerational trauma that I experienced and raise her differently, which some
Mhm.
days I succeed and some days I don't. Um, and I'm a wife of 13 years. Yeah, we just celebrated 13 years. And man, that's a process too. So that takes its own. Um, has its own challenges and learning opportunities, I like to call them. And what else? And I'm doing this coaching thing where I am trying to spread the message of how to harness the power of your superconscious mind to help you navigate life. Having this best
Mm.
friend in your brain that maybe a lot of people don't know about or people access in different ways, but I've learned how to access it to navigate my emotions, to navigate my beliefs, and it's really been empowering and life-changing. So now I'm trying to spread that word and method to people in the online space.
I love that. There's a lot to learn about the unconscious mind. Um, I've been studying human behavior and the conscious mind and unconscious mind for the last, I mean, technically it's been 5 or 6 years, but I've really been just diving headfirst into it in the last year. And man, I see the world completely differently. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any specific practices that you are doing to access your subconscious mind and clear what you find there?
I've been getting a lot of coaching,
Yeah.
where the coach will actually take me through exercises and I just connect to myself on a
Cool.
deeper level. That's also
Hmm.
what I do, is
Hmm.
I coach people to help them connect to themselves on a deeper level. Um, but man, like just I don't even know how to explain what I'm thinking. It's just the way you see the world differently when you learn all this stuff about humans.
Hmm.
Um, you can kind of give the world a little more grace,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm. Yeah. Through my own healing journey, it's really been a process. And you talk about the layers and the levels, a deeper level. There's always a deeper level, right? The journey
Hmm.
is never done, which is really kind of exciting on one hand and exhilarating, and also a little bit like, what? I've never done. um, but yeah, the more we learn, the more there is to know. And
Yeah.
I find it super kind of empowering to get out of reaction mode. I think before you learn about this stuff, a tendency for people is to be in reaction mode, right? Reacting to
Hmm.
life all the time, right? Somebody says
Yeah.
something to you, you have an emotional reaction, and that's your reality. And you go about your day from one reaction to another. Um, and I think when we learn about this stuff and when we learn about the layers of our mind and the way to take a different perspective or to take an observer role in our life, we have more conscious awareness and we have more choice. And we have strategies to step out of reaction mode to
Yeah.
to I call them now healing opportunities, because it usually just shows you something in you that needs some healing and some love, and
Hmm.
then step into more conscious intention of what you want. Yeah. So it is
Yeah.
so powerful, all this deep learning that we can geek out
Yeah.
on.
And just to comment on the reaction mode, one of the things that we say in my coaching community a lot is instead of trying to avoid the triggers, figure out how to get rid of the trigger altogether and
Hmm.
just relate to it differently. So,
Hmm.
oh, I love this stuff. I could talk about it all day.
It's so powerful, and it's such a
Yeah.
mind shift because we're so inherently wired to avoid our triggers, right? Of
Hmm.
course, why would we want to go towards the pain? No, no thanks.
Yeah.
But if we can reframe the triggers to healing opportunities or whatever you want to call it, and figure out why we're triggered and heal that wound and really shift and tolerate the distress of the trigger, it takes the power of the trigger away and then you're no longer triggered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's your story? I mean, how did you get into this work and what inspired you to even think about using the unconscious mind to be your best friend?
Mm. Well, I always have been a geek for information, and as a mental health OT, I'm always learning, especially running my own business. There's always the clients that I help and they get better and they go on and it's great. But then there's always some that you don't. And I'm always trying to figure out what is it? What is it that I can do? How can I help them? And anything that I learn for clients, I do on myself first because that's just how I think it should be done. And so I had my own healing journey, right? I didn't get, I had a fairly decent childhood, but there was also a lot of trauma. I think everybody, even people who have decent childhoods, have some level of trauma to work through.
Yeah.
And so, I always thought I was pretty okay. But then once I started to learn, like I have insecure attachment style and I drink too much, was drinking too much and eating too much and doing all sorts of numbing behaviors too much, right? And steeped in anger and resentment a lot and not really that happy despite having a good career and a husband and a kid. So I think that it was the combination of noticing myself not thriving as I wanted to thrive and researching stuff to help the people I work with that I fell into a Facebook ad. And in the Facebook ad, this woman's face was just beaming. I'm like, oh, why is she so happy? and and she's talking about trauma and releasing trauma easily. And I'm like, I want to release trauma easily. So I fell into her world and it was really, really magical. And I just carried on. Then I started to follow my intuition and I took her certification course and graduated with that. And now I'm, applying that and stepping more and more into my own intuition and my own energetics. And just the learning is ongoing always. It's so much fun.
That's
So that's
awesome.
how I got here.
What has been like the biggest like moment in I don't know how to spell that.
Yeah, the aha moments. Yeah, how is it
Yeah.
going to be transcribed? Oh my gosh, I've written them out because I wanted to have like a journey. Although I think everybody's journey is kind of different, but I think there have been several and there are continue to be these aha moments where, you feel totally aligned and it's like, get it. I
Mm,
think the very first one for me was a lot of work on self-compassion, right? Because I think most of us, I'm just going to say all of us, because I think it is all of us have that carry around this inherent worthiness wound, right? We're not
yeah.
enough, not good enough, however you want to call it. It's a different flavor, but I think underneath it all, we all carry this. And I did a lot of work on self-compassion. And I was holding my daughter and I was looking at the stars. We were outside looking at the stars. And I just realized, the love I have for my daughter is the same love that I am allowed to have because I am just as worthy as she is. We all are. It was this aha of we are all here and imperfectly perfect and worthy just the way we are. My daughter does not have to do anything to earn my love. And I do not have to do anything to earn anybody's love. I am inherently worthy. And looking at the stars are inherently worthy and we're made of stardust. It was just all this like supreme connection and love. And it's like, I get it. That was a
Yeah.
good one.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
one of my favorite recent I don't know if it's a quote, but somebody said, "You're all I need to go through this life with," and
Hmm.
they were talking to themselves.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's
so
so good.
I made it a post-it and I look at it every day because not that we don't need other people in our lives, but we have to have our own backs. I'm really big on having my own back because I was my own bully for so long, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good reframe. You
Mhm.
should do a post on that if you haven't already. Just
I
what
should
you
have.
said, because I was a bully for so long. Yeah, we're so hard on ourselves, and that voice will
Yeah.
still come back occasionally, but I definitely deal with her a lot differently. Um, and yeah, that relationship with ourselves is key. It is so key. Once I started healing that in myself and neutralizing those triggers and healing those core heart wounds, I call them, my relationship with my husband changed dramatically. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to he's not the one to go to counseling. He's not the one to do, um, read self-help books and that kind of thing. Um, so he actually didn't have to do anything for our relationship to improve. Um, I changed, right? And when my energy changes, everything around me changes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I'm not looking to others to fill me up. I'm not looking to work to fill me up. I'm not looking to him to fill me up or my daughter to fill me up. I love having them in my life. I fill me up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that changes everything.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah, there's almost a calming effect when you start to change your relationship with yourself. I know for me, I'm a lot calmer than I was even a year ago.
Yeah.
um I mean it was a mix of things. Like I was in a very stressful job and lots of outside things happening, but when you start to heal the relationship with yourself, it's had this calming effect on me that I've noticed, but like everyone around you is like, what are you taking? I want some of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful, powerful.
Hmm.
Self-love, self-compassion, relationship with self, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's super powerful. And then the stuff still happens. SHIT still happens in life. I certainly don't have a perfect life. I don't think
Right.
we ever do, but it just gets a little bit easier to navigate. And if I get in a reaction, I know how to get out of it a bit better, a lot better. They just don't last quite as long. They're less
Mm.
frequent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the unconscious mind and how it can become your best friend.
Tons. So, my program is Superconscious Solution, and it's called that because you can become really kind of consciously aware of your life, like aware of your internal reactions and aware of your emotions and make some choices in your life, right? Like we already talked about. And secondly, because your superconscious is a part of you and a part of your brain that can heal those difficult emotions and those challenging beliefs that we keep running into. And it does this by a relatively quick training that I give your superconscious on how to do the neutralization of the difficult emotions. And then, in one-on-one sessions, we can go really deep, and your superconscious finds all the pieces of you and all the experiences that you've had to neutralize, and you don't have to remember them. You don't have to talk about them. But
Mm.
you don't have to. It can go back to pre-memory, like when you were an infant, and it can go back to past lives and all this cool stuff. So your superconscious is super powerful. Um, so I kind of went on a segue there. That's what happens in a one-on-one session. But once your superconscious is like trained up and knows what to do after, a few sessions, then you can use it in the moment. So, even just this morning, I was triggered by something and I sat down and I just said, I talked to my superconscious and asked it to help me neutralize the source of this feeling that I wasn't enjoying. Um, and it does. It does this little thing. And then I can feel more grounded and I can set my intention of how I'd like my day to unfold, right? Running around trying to find parking to do this podcast. Well, I can do that with nervous, frantic energy, or I can do that with it's going to work out energy, right? Everything's
Yeah.
going to work out. So I can ask my superconscious, well, please reinforce this, calm, everything going to work out energy. And it does. And it did. Right. So it's with you for kind of two reasons. Well, there's two reasons that I'll use it. One is to release from reactions that I don't want to have and reinforce what I do want. A feeling state, a mental state. It can help you meditate. It can help you sleep. It can help you focus. It can help you do anything you want once you know how to talk to it.
Mm. I love that.
Hmm.
And I just a side note that's not related to anything you just said. I love that you have a microphone in your car.
Well, I wanted to make the effort to sound good. I mean, I have it at home. So, yes, I wanted to make the effort to sound and look good.
It's awesome.
Um, yeah. So, yeah, um it's essentially like, your brain, you're right now talking to you. Both of us have stuff going on in our mind that we're aware of, like an
Hmm.
iceberg, right? The top of the iceberg is what you and I are aware of, what we're seeing, what we're hearing, the thoughts that we're having, the reactions to what each of us are saying. Underneath the water is the rest of the iceberg. And that's all the stuff that we're not aware of that's happening,
Hmm.
that's impacting what we say and how we're listening and what we say next. And we're not even aware of that. And all of that stuff is from our past, right? It's from our past experiences that build up and create the reality that we have. And when we learn that we can change that, like we can't change the past, but we can neutralize the emotions that
Hmm.
might be stuck to those past memories inside of us. It really does create more, it's freedom. It's freedom and empowerment.
Yeah. Yesterday, I was talking to a coach who did a peace assessment on me.
Oh, oh yeah.
And peace is an acronym, and I can't remember what what it was for, but at the end of the peace assessment, I asked about the word peace, because to me, peace would be like, well, what I was telling her was there's always noise in my head all the time.
Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
for me, peace would be to just calm the noise down
Mm.
and be able to sit without all the noise.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like a mini session?
Sure. Can I put it in the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Yes, you can. There might be a lot of quiet time. It is like a guided sessions. That's a good way to explain them now. Sessions are like a guided mindfulness practice. So I do get you kind of um, relaxed and calm.
Hmm.
And then I would give some instructions to your superconscious. So, and then there's some dead space. So it might be kind of boring for people, but we certainly could record it and then you could edit out what
Sure.
you
Let's
don't
do
think your
it.
listeners would like.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much time have we got?
I have until 12 PST.
Okay. Yeah, we can do it. Yeah,
Okay.
if you'd like.
Cool. Thank you. Shut my head
Do
up.
you
Just kidding.
want
What up, beasts? Okay, so if you're in a place where you can actually close your eyes and participate and follow along, I was able to do this again, as I was editing it, and it was profound even the second time. So highly recommended. I know I do some talking in part of it, but try to put yourself in my chair or in your own chair, whatever chair you want to be in, and try to do this exercise if you can. If not, cool. It's probably going to be boring, but highly recommended. And back to the show.
Okay, well, this is fun.
Cool.
All right. Well, whoops, I'm just gonna, I was kind of sitting on, there we go. All right, my dear. So it's a guided mindfulness practice. I will be talking to your superconscious and your parts, and you don't have to understand really any of it. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Are you comfortable sitting where you're sitting?
Yep.
Comfortable enough? Okay. So I invite you to close your eyes. And if any point it doesn't feel right, just open them up. That's fine. I invite you to take a nice big breath in. Really feel your lungs fill up with the air. And as you breathe out, just allow the air to escape without trying to push or force anything to happen. And do that one more time. Nice big breath in. And then just allowing and to release. Now, of course, your mind is still busy right now, and that is 100% fine and normal. Just allow all the thoughts to circulate around. If you have a to-do list, try to envision that to-do list on a piece of paper in your mind. Open up a drawer in the desk in your mind, put the to-do list in, close the drawer and say, I'll be back to you in 20 minutes. I invite you to now place your attention on your feet. Just wiggle your toes a little bit, press your feet into the floor beneath you. And from the bottoms of those feet, I invite you to visualize some roots growing down through the floor of your home, through the foundation of your building, and into the earth below. And when they hit that earth, they spread far and wide and deep, just like the root network of a tree. Got big fat roots, medium roots, and little baby roots. And they go all the way down through the mud and dirt and caves and waterfalls and underground rivers. They're aiming for the center, the light source. When they get there, they find this beautiful green light glowing. They start to absorb some of the light. So your roots are gradually getting brighter with green light. The little baby roots, the medium roots, the big roots, just filling up until your whole root network is glowing with this beautiful green light. And when the light hits your feet, it starts to flow into your system, your energetic system, just saturating all the spaces in your body with this beautiful light. Up your legs, swirling around your belly and abdomen, swirling around your chest and your heart space, down your arms into your hands, up into your neck, swirling around your head and your face, behind your eyes. And when it hits the top of your head, it bursts out into your crown chakra above and spreads into beautiful tree branches above. These branches fill this entire room that you're in. They burst through the ceiling, the roof, out into the sky above. Beautiful. Now just continue to breathe, and I'm going to talk to your superconscious now. Firstly, I'm going to ask, do I have permission to work with your superconscious mind today? Yes, thank you. So superconscious, I would like you to imagine that the brain is a beach, a smooth, sandy beach. When a painful memory, painful thought, event, part, or predisposition comes into the active experience, it leaves footprints on the beach in a particular sequence. Superconscious, you can pay attention to the sequence of the footprints, and you can treat these with gentle waves washing over the beach in the particular sequence, gradually filling the tracks in with sand a little bit at a time, ever so gently, until the brain is once again a smooth, sandy beach. Superconscious, that is how you treat and neutralize difficult memories, painful emotions, and parts, leaving behind the memory, but the distress neutralized. Beautiful. So in general, when you talk about your thoughts being super busy and your mind being busy, would you give it a number from 0 to 10? 10 being is like, you can't, so busy you can't pick a thought out, and 0 is being calm. What number would you give it?
In this current moment, or like in general?
Sure, let's do this current moment.
I would say 6.
6, okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to give your superconscious some instructions. There's nothing that you need to do. There's nothing that you need to force. Just allow, maybe curious observer of anything, of your body, of your sensations, of any feelings or memories. Superconscious, please notice the active experience. Superconscious, please do what you can to allow the active experience to settle, to calm, to slow. Please treat any parts or predispositions that are creating the frenzy. When appropriate, do a massive change history and everything after that. Superconscious, when I say massive change history and everything after that, I mean all memories in memories 1, 2, and 3, all systems of body and mind, and tandem memories and shadow memories. I invite you, Katie, to take a nice big breath in and release. Superconscious, please do the awakening script so all parts understand how treatment is done. All parts, please know treatment is never forced, always consensual, always respectful, always at the pace of the most fragile, slowest part. Treatment proceeds with treat, rest. And at any point, any parts that don't want treatment can just step aside and watch the treatment. Superconscious, please treat all parts that are in the active experience that want the treatment. When appropriate, do a massive change history and everything after that. Beautiful. I invite you to take a breath from your heart space. Just visualize your heart as a big kind of breathing thing, breathing in and out of your heart space. And how are you doing? Have you noticed anything?
I noticed that all I can hear right now is the hum of my fan, which I usually turn off.
Mm-hmm.
But usually if I leave it on, I don't notice that it's on. But yeah, there was a point, I don't even remember what you said, and I feel like my brain just like blew out all the thoughts for a minute, and all I heard was the sound of the hum.
Nice. Okay. So let's just see. Your superconscious will tell me where to go next. So just breathe. And picture that beautiful green light in your whole body. Superconscious, please do the disorganization procedure. Please help the main personality filter what is necessary for the moment through the association and dissociation processes. Please do what you can so they work together to filter unnecessary information and only bring forward helpful and necessary information required for the present moment. And do a massive change history and everything after that. Superconscious, if there's a protector controller part that is present, that is concerned about this process, please offer to explain the process to them. If the protector controller part consents to treatment, please offer it the treatment and then treat. When appropriate, do a massive change history and everything after that. Oh, a nice big breath in. Superconscious, please do what is necessary to reinforce I am safe, I am calm, I am grounded, I am focused. Do whatever is needed to reinforce those statements as being 100% true in the main personality. Please treat any disempowering memories, parts, core beliefs that do not reinforce those statements. Please reinforce all positive, self-empowering memories, beliefs, and predispositions that do reinforce I am safe, I am calm, I am focused, I am relaxed. And when appropriate, do a massive change history and everything after that. I'm just checking in. How are you feeling now?
Good.
Yeah. And if you were to rate the busyness of your mind now from 0 to 10, what number would you give it?
I would say a 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Good for you. That's a good jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a little more time. So let's just go a little further if that's okay with you.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. I'll just see where we go. I'm getting something around a belief around having to be in control. Does that resonate at all with you?
The only thing I can think of when it comes to control is my schedule. I'm very particular about if you want to hang out, we have to schedule it, otherwise it probably won't happen.
All right.
That's the only control I can think of.
Okay. Well, maybe just keep that word control in your mind and notice what comes up in your body, out of your brain. Take the elevator down to your heart. We don't have to analyze it. Just let it be while I give your superconscious some instructions, if that's okay with you. Yeah. Superconscious, please notice any predispositions, parts, or events that contribute to an unconscious belief around control. A predisposition. Superconscious, please treat any predispositions that want the treatment. Reconnect them with their opposite pair, and then do a massive change history and everything after that. Superconscious, if you can find the root event in this lifetime or previous lifetimes where control was an issue, please treat, and then do a massive change history and everything after that. Superconscious, please reinforce all positive, self-empowering memories and beliefs and predispositions that release the main personality from this subconscious, unconscious feelings of control. So the main personality has full conscious choice. When appropriate, do a massive change history and everything after that. I invite you to return to the visualization of those beautiful roots and those beautiful branches and the beautiful green light. And form a bubble of green light around yourself, as if you're floating in that bubble. And just be open to receiving whatever you need from that light, from that bubble. Whatever feeling state would feel really good for you right now, just lean into it. And it will be yours. And breathing in and out this beautiful green light. Okay. Well, just check in. How are you doing now?
Good.
Good. Okay. I think we'll move just to the end of session. So I have a couple more instructions. So just continue to breathe in and out of that visualization, in and out of your heart space. Superconscious, please treat all memories, the memories 1, 2, and 3, and all systems of body and mind. Please reconnect all the memories we've touched today back to the matrix of the universe. And between now and the next session, please continue to reinforce what the main personality would like today. Calm, focused, relaxed, quiet mind. And whatever feeling state the main personality leaned into in the end. Please, Superconscious, continue to reinforce those as desired states for the main personality. And those beautiful branches, I invite you to call them back. Visualize them furling back in on themselves. As they come back, they bring all that beautiful green light with them, down through your crown chakra, down through your third eye chakra, your throat chakra, and into your heart, where it just glows a bit brighter. And I invite you to go back to those roots under your feet, call them back into you. Watch as they come back all through the earth, carrying all that beautiful green light with them. Coming back into your feet, up your legs, that light energy, up through your root chakra, all the way up into your heart as well. We have a beautiful star glowing bright where you can access anytime you need. You can put your hand on your heart, ask for clarity, ask for focus, ask for calm, and it shall be yours. And that brings your little mini session to a conclusion.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have a frog in my throat. How is that? How are you feeling?
I feel good. I mean, I feel like I will want to listen to this again.
Oops.
But yeah, just the moment when all I've heard was the ceiling fan was really cool because there's always noise in my head. So, um, and one thing I noticed whenever I do a session with somebody is I start with my hands on my knees, and I never, and it happens, but by the end of the session, I'm always holding my own hands and kind of like, like doing some sort of like it's okay movement. So, but I'm never conscious of when it happens. So,
right.
yeah.
You start taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can always put your hand on your heart and just ask for your superconscious to help bring some clarity, bring some calm. And now you know it's possible.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to go further in a one-to-one, we can. I'm not here to sell them. And if you do, we can, right?
Yeah.
Usually, there's stuff that is activating your nervous system that is creating the busy mind. It's usually a sign, it's a symptom really of an activated nervous system. And so we can clear some of the internal activators through this work.
I did want to comment on the control. Like, I know that you said that you were going to do that, but I didn't know if you were going to do that. So, yeah. I did want to comment on the control. Like, I know that you said that you were going to do that, but I didn't know if you were going to do that. So, yeah. when I was like, the only thing I
Mhm.
can think of is my schedule because I'm very strict with my schedule. Um, but then as we were going further into it, I realized like I work with people who have a history of disordered eating and exercise behaviors,
Mhm.
and that itself is all about control. Controlling your body and controlling what your body
100.
looks like and controlling your appearance and controlling. Yeah, I had this thought come to me that I've been healing my relationship to myself and my body for the last 4 years. Um, but because I spent 27 years on a diet,
Mhm.
that's there's still always more healing that I can do. And what came to me was I'm still trying to control my body,
Mhm.
even though like consciously,
Mhm.
like I'm not healed. I don't think I'll ever be healed with an ED, but like there's still that part of me that wants to control my body.
Mm.
And so
Mm.
that was really powerful for me.
Mm. I'm getting
Yeah.
tingles. I'm getting
Yeah.
tingles. That's what is so powerful about this work is because part of it is just that you get some insights and you get some awareness. So, there's a part of you that knew that, and your superconscious found that part and released that wisdom to you. So now it's
Hmm.
part of your conscious reality, and you can make some choices and do the next step of healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
I love that you were so brave. It's not always somebody says yes. So you were really brave, and you're clearly open to it, and you know, it is so powerful.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you had that insight, and yeah, I hope it helps you in your next step of your journey.
I think I'm so open to it because I just finished a mastery coaching program, and the first 6 months of it was coaches like me practicing with my peer coaches, and so it was
Hmm.
like I probably had 5 or 6 sessions a week for like 6 months.
Oh my gosh,
So
amazing.
I'm just so used to like, getting in the position and closing my eyes and going
So
inside
hot.
myself. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's very woo-woo and I love woo-woo. Love me some woo-woo. Yeah.
It is very woo-woo, but I am such because I'm such a Hmm. non-woohoo to start. The starting place I was at was really non-woohoo. So I had to convince myself that this was evidence-based and this
Hmm.
fit the framework of psychology that I'm used to, like the standardized I can't even say the word psychology treatments like CBT and EMDR and all that kind of stuff that you would get from a psychologist.
Hmm.
I had to convince myself through reading and research and practice that this worked. And I know it works. It worked on me. It works on everybody I work with. And I could geek out and explain the whole science and the psychology behind it if you wanted to, but we could save that for another day. So it is
Okay.
woohoo, but I call it frontier science. It's just not mainstream yet.
Yes. And I like to consider it an art as well. Um,
Yeah.
because it's also the coach, the way because we're humans, we're all going to show up differently for our clients. And what I love about you is your voice is so calming and inviting.
Hmm.
And I felt like I could just sit here. Like, I, every night I listen to what me and my son call the lady, to
Yeah.
help me fall asleep. And I was like, if I could just put your voice instead.
Well, now that you mentioned that, I do have a Facebook group. It's free. I just did a live on Tuesday. I did a little mini session for sleep. So,
Mm.
join the group. I leave those up forever. I'm just really a giver. have coaches telling me you give too much. I'm like, I don't care anymore. I'm just giving. I'm giving. I don't care. So
Yeah.
go listen to that, join the group, listen to that with your son, see if you like it. Um, and my latest big aha is I have a YouTube channel, but I don't have any recordings of the sessions on there yet. But that is what I'm going to start doing. So you can look
Okay.
for Superconscious Solution on YouTube, and I'm going to start recording little specific mini sessions because it can help with everything from applying for jobs to sleeping to chronic pain to IBS to anything, really. It's
I love it.
magical.
I love it. Well, I have one more question for you that I ask
Okay.
everyone at the end of every episode.
You
And that
probably
is,
told me what it is, but I don't remember. So go ahead, spring it
that's
on me.
okay. If you had one piece of advice that you could give to the world, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. Well, the first thing that immediately comes to mind is love, and it is really sappy, but um, love, if you can get into the vibration of love for yourself and for the world and for others, it's a magical place to live, and only good things happen from that place. I know that that feels impossible for many people, but I don't want to sound like I'm asking people to do the impossible. Your superconscious can help you get there. It can help clear all the blocks away, and you will feel that unconditional, limitless love that you are and is available to you whenever you want. How's that?
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle McEwan signing off. Until next time.